What's up, people? It's your man Urban Lover coming from your mama's basement, sick as a dog. Roo, 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 roo. I'm gonna talk about that game. Now, I said in Twitter that I'm not gonna be hard on the Lakers because my man Brandon Ingram got his man balls up, baby. That dunk was electrifying, juicifying, coming through the mama's basement, creeping through the doorways. It was nice. I was happy that he went hard and got his man balls up. He did his thing. I like that. Now, what I want to talk about, I watched a video of Luke Walton talking about, just the whole situation of the game. Now, he gave Nick Young props. He said Nick Young playing within the system. He loved Nick Young. He said he's been saying it since the beginning of the season how good Nick Young been playing, which I've been saying too. Now, that's why I told guys over and over again. Everybody keep talking about trading Nick Young, get rid of Nick Young. Well, let him go because right now he's a good asset. Teams ain't gonna want Nick Young. I mean, yeah, a playoff team will probably take him, but me personally, you still need veterans on that team. If we get rid of Nick Young and Lou Williams, we're gonna struggle because we don't have nobody else to step up. That means the weight is now on D'Angelo Russell and Jordan Clarkson and them. So you're gonna need veterans. And right now, him and Lou Williams are the only two veterans that have actually been helping the Lakers win games or keeping them close. So if we get rid of those two and get a defensive player that can't score, we still gonna be in the concept of struggling. So it doesn't really matter. The best thing for the Lakers to do is just allow the veterans to carry the team while the young guys develop, because the young guys are still young. They still need to get opportunity to understand the NBA level. So we just got to be a little patient on that. I know sometimes I go off, but I don't never say about trading the players. The only one I say trade right now, to be honest with you, is Mozgov. Only because they don't use them. And to me, I said it before and over again, Mozgov is Roy Hibbert 2.0. He has good games and he had bad games. Like this game, and I'm not going to butcher this guy for Toronto name. I'm going to butcher his name, but I don't care. So Valanciunas, whatever, Valanciunas, anyway, kind of gave Miles the business. And the reason why I say that, because one thing Miles didn't do is push him off the brick. He allowed Val to get too deep in the paint to just throw hook shots over him, or turn away, fade away jumpers on him. You can't allow a center like that to get that deep in the paint. You got to get him out of there. And this is where Tar Black was really good at. He was pretty good at being physical and pushing guys off the block and pushing them out the paint. But Tar Black, his knees started hurting on him that game. So I was kind of upset that Lou Walton didn't play somebody else in there inside of Lou Dane. But I'm gonna talk about that because that's the fourth quarter. Now, he did mention that in the second quarter that they started playing iso ball. But if you keep in mind, Jordan Clarkson and Lou Williams been doing that since day one. They've been playing iso ball. And that's why teams are starting to figure the Lakers out, because when you come in with that second unit, like I told people over and over again, do you not think that the coaching of the other team are not scouting the players to know who to stop and who to let go? They say, okay, on the second unit we got Jordan Clarkson and Lou Williams. If we contain these two, it's going to be pretty hard for that second unit to get any points up because ain't no other shooters out there. Brandon Ingram not hitting his shots, but Brandon Ingram is driving to the basket. And I like that because he got to show that aggressiveness, because at the end of the day, somebody got to do it. But they kind of contained Jordan Clarkson and Williams. Jordan Clarkson didn't really take that many shots, but he was still struggling. And it had a lot to do with defense. Jordan Clarkson was struggling and Lou Williams was struggling. Matter of fact, Lou Williams, ISO, went straight to it, and I forgot what quarter it was. He went to the basket, tried to do that little famous layup he does, and got it blocked. Because, he showed the guy the ball, and the guy blocked it. But my biggest problem is that the Lakers still play good defense. And I know a lot of people say Nick Young didn't play good defense. Who did he play? He played DeRozan. Now, what I want you guys to go do is, I want you to go look at DeMar DeRozan's field goal percentage. He finished 10 for 25. Before that, he was 8 for 20. Before he got a couple jump shots off. Nick Young played good defense on DeRozan. Y'all might not see it, but he played good defense on DeRozan. This is why I say at the end of the day, all I do is I look at what's on the floor and I look at the stats. What did he do? So Nick Young played good defense on DeRozan. DeRozan got almost all his points from the free throw line. But I'm not knocking DeRozan. That's why he's elevated as an all-star. Because in reality, I've been saying this over and over again. If your shot's not falling, what you do? You go to the paint and draw fouls, and that's what DeRozan was doing. So he went to the paint and drew a foul, and because his name is DeRozan and he's an all-star, the ref's going to give him fouls, not 90% of the time. Even if some of the fouls are ghost fouls, they're going to give it to him. And that's why I said the Lakers need to start doing the same thing to address themselves by going to the paint, drawing fouls, so that way the refs can start realizing this and start giving them calls as well. And one thing I want to point out, and I was kind of happy to see this, D'Angelo Russell putting that ball on the floor and going to the paint. His shots weren't falling at the beginning of the game. He was struggling. I said, okay, well, you got to find another way to, get in the game, young man. So what he does, he went to the free throw line. You know what I mean? A couple times, and he wasn't getting a lot of calls, you know what I mean, because he's DeAndre Russell. So you got to work your way into the ref. I'm tapping my fingers, y'all guys know what that means. But you got to work your way into getting the ref to acknowledge you, and he was going to the paint. I like that. He was getting other players involved. He didn't have that many turnovers. Matter of fact, he didn't have no turnovers. So he played within his system. That's because he really wanted to win this game. Excuse me, because like I said, I got a cold. He really wanted to play this game. Now, the first 3 quarters, the Lakers played good defense. Toronto, a lot of people say, well, Toronto game wasn't knowing this and that. No, they played good freaking defense, man. Like I said, it started with Nick Young on DeRozan because Toronto had the highest 2 backcourt duo in the league right now. They have one of the top 5 high-scoring duos in the league with Lowry and DeRozan. Now, if you take one away and let the other one go off, that's not bad because the Lakers actually stood in the game all 3 quarters. They were going back and forth with the lead change up, and I like that. Nick Young played hell of a defense on him, man. He even got 2 offensive fouls called against him. You know what I mean? He put his body in the way. So. And I told people over and over again, he played pretty good D. He got a couple steals. He did, Nick Young on that starting unit is pretty decent to me. I know a lot of people say move him to the bench, but Jordan Clarkson inconsistency. Cannot put Jordan Clarkson in that starting lineup because he's up and down. Nick Young and Lou Williams have been the hottest 2 on that team. Why these guys, find their way. And I was happy that Nick Young played, but my problem is that 4th quarter. And the reason why I'm talking about the 4th quarter is that, and I got to go back to Lou Walton. Now, Lou Walton, he did say out of his mouth, he said that they got away from the small ball lineup. If you don't believe me, go to Laker Nation video, watch the video. It's a 5-minute video. He says it. He said we kind of got away from, we kind of got away from that big man lineup in the second half. And he started going towards the small ball, and he said he got away from it. And that's why I try to tell guys, he knows that he's making a lot of mistakes. And I'm happy that he's correcting them. And I was kind of upset that he brought Ding in. But they went with the small ball lineup again towards the end. But this is my problem. I wasn't really mad about that because they had it wasn't so much a small ball lineup because they had Robinson in. And they had Robinson, Julius Randle, D'Angelo Russell, was it? I think it was Jordan Clarkson. I forgot. I think it was Jordan Clarkson and Brandon Ingram. My thing is, I was telling Dan, the Laker fan, on Twitter, I said, I forgot the other guy's name. Sorry about that. El Dargo, something like that. And I said the biggest problem with him is that when Toronto won that 6-0 run, Lou Walton right then and there should have called a timeout. Because remember, keep in mind, we was in the game the whole time. But when they went on a 6-0 run against that second unit, and Jordan Clarkson and Lou Williams wasn't doing anything, you should have just played them dudes like 2 minutes. Gave D'Angelo Russell and Nick Young just a little breather and brought them back out there. If you'd have brought D'Angelo Russell and Nick Young out early before Toronto went up on a 9-0, went up by 9 or whatever, and then you decided to bring D'Angelo Russell in, and then 5 minutes into the game you brought Nick Young in. If you'd have actually took out Jordan Clarkson and Lou Williams early and brought those guys in early, we probably would have won this game, Luke Walton. So, to be honest with you guys, you fans that continue to protect Lou Walton, and like I said, I'm not hard on him, I'm just calling it for what it is. I call everybody, whether it's my man Larry Nance, my man Jordan Clarkson, because I told people over and over again, Larry Nance and Jordan Clarkson are my favorite 2 players. I will call them out as well. I do not believe in being biased. I'll give people a pass if I see that you're doing good on certain areas. Like if you're not doing good on offense, but you're doing good on defense, I'll give you a pass. But if you're not doing nothing at all, sometimes you got to take the players out. And my thing is with Lou Walton, once again, his stubbornness to not pull them early and bring D'Angelo Russell and Nick Young back into the game is what really killed this opportunity for us to win this game. Because I think, in my mind, we could have beat Toronto. We're not a bad team. It comes down to time management, rotation, and matchups. This is what's killing us right now. We know that we're the worst defensive team in the league, but we can make adjustments if we just do what we're supposed to do with what we got, and we're not doing that. So you wait till the last minute to bring in Nick Young and D'Angelo Russell while he was up by 9. Look what happened when you brought them guys in. Julius Randle all of a sudden, got his game going. Well, Julius Randle, like I said, Julius Randle was once again filling with a triple-double. He was filling with it. He didn't have a good offensive game, but one thing I like about Randle is that he was going through the free throw line. And this game, he freaking hit his free throws. He played put like this, in the fourth quarter, when he brought Randall and Russell back in, they went on their lower segment, man. Randall and Russell alone got those guys back into the game. You know, they were down by like, I think 6 or something like that with Randall and Russell. Russell came and hit a couple threes, you know, and I like it. You know, they was aggressive. And that's what I'm trying to tell people over and over again. Russell got to shoot. Screw that trying to get everybody else involved. Russell is a shooter, man. And if we keep having him just, you know, playing unselfish basketball, which is nothing wrong with it, but he's the scorer. Listen, right now, Russell could easily average 20 points if they just allow him to play. And this against Kyle Lowry, you know what I'm saying? So he came out and he, you know, the first half, you know, he went to the free throw line. He was getting everybody else into it. But that fourth quarter, he came out on fire. He came out on fire, hit a couple threes. You know, he was doing his thing. But my problem is that Lou Walton waited too long to bring him back in. Nick Young, once again, hot. Only played 30 minutes. So, you know, he allowed Lou Williams and Jordan Clarkson to get all those minutes when he shouldn't. Those guys should have got like 10 minutes, to be honest with you. They wasn't hot. They wasn't doing anything. The Toronto defense was shutting them down because that's all you have on that team. And without Larry Nance, it makes it much harder for those two to score because Larry Nance is what helped those two guys score. And what people fail to realize that because Larry Nance can shoot. And that's what, you know, that kind of messes it up for the second unit because when Larry Nance went down, the second unit kind of like started feathering away a little bit. Now, with that being said, I would have just like brought D'Angelo Russell in and Julius Randle early. I would not brought freaking Lou all day in 2-minute mark. I wouldn't have brought him in because you went right back to the small lineup. And what happened? A lot of inside plays for Toronto to help them seal the deal. You know, so my thing at the end of the day is that I would have kept Robinson. I would have gave Robinson a little break. And because Tara Black was actually favoring that knee, and I couldn't bring Tara Black in because Tara Black would have been my first option to come in and to play with that last 5 minutes. Only because Tara Black is a little bit more physical than Robinson on defense. And he's pretty decent down low because, like I said, Tara Black is pretty good at pushing guys out the box, you know, and putting the body on him. Now, the only thing that gets Tara Black is that he always go for the pump fakes though in the inside paint that allows him to, you know, get a foul called upon him. But he's pretty good, you know, as in being a physical player. So I would have went with that small ball lineup. I would have went with Robinson. Well, I would have just brought Miles back in. I know Miles did get got handled by their center, but I would have brought some height in there or somebody that's a little bit physical to help them contain that middle. The Lakers had this game, guys, and I say this over and over again. This right here is on Walton, and I think he knows this because he even said himself that they got away from using the big man lineup with that small ball lineup, and you can't keep pushing that small ball lineup when you don't have the personnel to do it. Randall's playing pretty good D, and that's all I have to say. I'm not going to be beating up on him because I was happy that Brandon Ingram got his man balls up. So I'm going to get to the stats real quick, and I'm going to let you guys go. And y'all guys, man, going to have a blessed day. But let me get to these stats real quick so we can go ahead and rock and roll. So field goal percentage, they shot 56%. We shot 40%. 3-point percentage, they was 58. We were 46. We shot 15 for 32. They shot 10 for 17. Free throws made, they were 29 for 32. We were 25 for 31. They shot 90% from the free throw line. We shot 80%, which isn't bad. We got to the free throw line. That's what I like. Now, total rebounds almost about even. They had 49, 12, 48. Now, offensive board was the Black and Robinson duo. They had 16. We only had 5. We had 16. They only had 5. Defensive rebounds, they had 35, and we had 27. That's what was really hurting us. Team rebounds, pretty good. They had 9. We had 5. Now, the hustle man points, we only had 19 assists. They had 18. Like I said, the Lakers averaged 20 assists. We didn't get it up there because guys coming in playing ISO, you know, trying to get themselves going. And sometimes you don't need that when you just can play within the system and take whatever the defense gives you. You don't have to force shots up because we got people that can score. Freaking Robinson can hit jump shots, and I keep saying it over and over again. You got to utilize what's on the floor. Anyway, steals, they had 5. We had 8. Blocks, they had 9, 12, 3. Total turnovers, they had 16. We only had 8, and I love it. But once again, we lost. Points off turnover, they had 22 though, and we only had 8. Fast break points, they had 11, but we had 20. Points in the paint, they had 36, we had 40 because we kept them out of the paint. Only one really doing anything in the paint was the center. And everybody else was just getting through the free throw line. So we kept them out of the paint, and that's what I have a lot to do with Tara Black, and a lot of people fail to realize that. Anyway, personal fouls, they had 25, 12, 21. So we played pretty good, man, but like I said, that last adjustment in that fourth quarter is what killed us. Lou Walton should have called a timeout like when they went a 6-0 run and brought in D'Angelo Russell and Nick Young right off the bat because both of them, well, Nick Young was already hot and D'Angelo Russell came right in and scorching. And I just say at the end of the day, sometimes you can't be a friendly coach to everybody. Sometimes you got to sit guys down and say, hey, it's not working. Let's bring somebody else in and help us get this win. Anyway, it's your man Urban Lover. Like, share, subscribe, get in the comment section. Tell me what you like. Y'all guys have a blessed day. Let's get ready for the next game. Y'all take care and enjoy your day.